Hey everyone, it's Jarrell here, aka the Black John Wayne. I wanted to do a video today simply entitled How to See Everything as an Education. I think it's extremely important to take value in your everyday life, in your everyday stock. You'll have a number of experiences on a daily basis, and you'll come across a number of people on your path. Sorry if I'm slightly squinting. I'm actually taking advantage of the sunlight pouring into my house at present. It's really strong, but I just wanted to use it so that you could get a kind of a clear picture. Yeah, seeing everything as an education, for me, it's proved paramount, particularly in the past 2 years in my career, where I've had to learn a lot about other people. I've had to learn a lot about myself through my industry, and having not been in that career since I left school, I had to learn it from an adult's perspective. And oftentimes when you're starting again in a career, or you're starting again in general, you're pretty much always starting from a position with a lack of experience. And for me, it's proved one of the key catalysts in any kind of success I have, whether that be on a daily basis, whether that be with a pay rise, whether that be with a new job, new relationships I'm creating, or new relationships that are forming in my life. I've always tried to take just the hints of education from people. So that's my first point is people. Essentially, you're never going to learn more about yourself than through, well, you will learn several things, but one of the ways that you learn about yourself is always through the eyes of others. You know, I know that's something I learned on my business course as well. When I studied business studies at university, I learned that seeing yourself is a matter of perception. Understanding yourself is a matter of perception of self, but it's also, how do others view you? What do others associate you with? And people will, especially your enemies, you'll learn, and I'm not saying you may or may not have enemies, but you'll learn a lot principally from people. I feel like someone's breaking into my house. It's actually just the postman delivering a bunch of post. There he is. You'll learn a ton load from people you don't like and people you do like. But you want to learn more from people who perhaps you don't have an instantaneous relationship with in your work life, in your social life. You know, what do they see in you? Perhaps they're not telling you, but body language might dictate. There's an education to be taken through the transient nature of relationships. You know, going from just meeting somebody, you know, in your work life or in your social life or what have you, to it becoming a fully fledged relationship and one that you're quite bonded with. Learn from people. It's crucial. What you're seeing on the television, what you're seeing online, what people are writing. It's essential. You learn characteristics. That's one of the first points I wanted to make about learning. Your collected and collective interests. So many of us have tons of interests, right? We think that, but often we think we're defined by one thing. In my personal life, in recent times, I've come to notice that I'm not just defined by one thing. You know, a lot of people don't like to be considered as a jack of all trades. A lot of people want to be known for one thing. But I don't think there's anything wrong in being known for just one thing or associated with one thing. I think it's better to be known as a cross-section of things. Reason being is because say you have 5 different interests, right? That's 5 different interest groups that you're able to engage in. If you are simply, I don't know, if you're simply a wood chopper, and that's all you're defined by, then that's just one interest group. And you'll only ever meet people who want to connect with that one thing. If you're like an octopus where your hands are in several different pies, and you're associated with more, there's more scope for you in your life. It's an interest these are the interests you've collected, and collectively they mean more than just one thing. They're not defined by, I'm only a wood chopper. You know, I'm into wood chopping, but I'm also into laying roads, and I'm also into, I don't know, building fireplaces as a result of chopping wood. You know, it's not the greatest of examples, but it's about thinking right, what else do I want to be known for? What else do I want to be associated with? Number 3 is failure. Failure is the biggest education of all. I don't know many people who disagree, but you learn more about yourself in failure, and you learn more about others and what you're capable of, crucially, in failure than you do in your wins, by far. You know, there's some excruciating experiences I've had in years past, considering my health, considering my own attitude and aptitude, considering my age, and if it wasn't for falling near enough flat on my face at times, there wouldn't have been any bounce back. There wouldn't have been that robustness inside me to know that I failed at this once, and as a result of failing, I'm graduating to a higher height, and I won't make that same mistake. For me, it's almost common sense that failing is crucial. I remember when I first started as a chef 2 years ago as a pastry chef, and I had to realign who I was as a human being in order to suit the needs and the wants of the kitchen, which was actually very difficult because I was going in at a later age. And I remember when I was doing my work experience prior to ever taking a full-time position as a chef, another chef told me that it would be very difficult for me because I hadn't started at a young age, and I knew more about, you know, I had more experience in life than what was required of anyone working in a kitchen, from a kitchen porter to a head chef, and it came true time and time again. You serve a chef serves the needs of the kitchen, and the kitchen serves the customer, and it's about constantly not bowing down, but taking a step back and being subservient. And for me, it's proved crucial to step back and fail, often at recipes, often at listening to my superiors. So much failure, and it's a result of those failures that, and I'm not in a position of grandiose. What I'm saying is it's as a result of all of my failures that I win. So in a weird way, that was going to be topic number 4, wins. Sorry, I've got a cold. How easy is it to learn from wins? How much of an education do you gain from wins? I guess you gain a lot of education from wins because you now know the path. You now know the route it takes in order to succeed. It proves crucial time and time again, where you know that you want to complete something within perhaps a short space of time, or you know that you want to achieve something and you've achieved it before, so why can't you do it again? Perhaps you're not learning, perhaps it's not an education for the second time, but it's an education in that you're fully aware of how to do it, so you know you can do it with more efficiency, and that breeds not complacency, but that breeds a confidence in you, right? There's there's less of a fear on approaching a task that isn't new anymore. It's more about completion. It's more about efficiency, and it's all more about how can I grow this? How can I expand on this? How can it become better? I know the basics. There's nothing like it. It's like passing an exam and knowing you have to, a mock exam, and knowing you have to do it again, the real exam, soon enough. But because you achieved the first time, you know what it took. You know the hours, crucially, how much time you need to put into it in order to fulfill, you know, its prophecy. And that kind of leads me on to my final point, higher purpose. For me, it's crucial to know and understand that there is a greater calling for yourself outside of your day-to-day completion of tasks and, you know, the mopping up of life to keep things clean as you go. I heard someone say the other day, a lot of us focus on the road, but we never look at the view. You know? Like, for me, that compounded so much of how I'm feeling, you know, at present. You know, with what I do, what I pursue in life. The view. Equally as the road. Everyone wants to get to that destination. I think a lot of people think success is a destination. success for me is a combination of your failures, learning from other people, your wins, your collected and collective interests. But it's also about, what am I doing to put into the world that's going to fulfill my sense of offering and growth, and how will that affect others? That's partly what higher purpose means to me. It's not everything that it means to me, but it's what I want to give to the world, right? Like, I would hope that anyone who's kind of watching these videos, or kind of, you know, takes a look, that perhaps you're in that same position where you know that, yeah, you're pursuing X, Y, and Z, but it's not just for that. Even family, like if you're trying to complete something in life and you're trying to please your parents, for example, that's a sense of higher purpose in a way. You know, you're trying to give back to those who brought you up, and that is a higher purpose, and that in turn, you know, feeds your motivation, you know, and activates your desire to do better in life. So I don't want to go on forever with these videos, because I'm actually trying to make them far more concise. You know, I'm trying to kind of make them nuggets, you know, 10 minutes long, so you can just kind of be on your mobile phone and just kind of watch it on your way home, or what have you. You know, so I hope this has given you some offered some food, you know, to your person. So yeah, it's always a blessing to talk into a camera by myself in my living room, but it's more of a blessing to impart what little bit of information, but knowledge I have onto others. So yeah, thanks a lot for watching. Please do share with a friend. Click the subscribe button if you're watching me via YouTube. And yeah, there's more to come. All the best.